get into a couple of other things I just seen on the timeline about the album. Let's pull this up here. Let's pull it up. DJ, I think I got it right here. Academics. Let's get into it. So, let's start with this right here. I didn't even know Kanye was still allowed on Twitter. I thought his shit got banned or he deleted it. I don't know what the thing was. Shout out to the guys in the chat. Shout out to the 5 in the chat right now. Shout out to the guys on their lunch break tuning into your boy. I appreciate you, man. I love y'all. I didn't know Kanye was still available and still allowed on Twitter, but clearly he said, "Give me a hug" is incredible. We didn't talk about that earlier in the stream. We went over it. We went over the response from Melissa Ford, from Joe Budden, from the pod. Kanye said, "Hey, give me a hug is incredible." Sheesh. And apparently it reached #1 on US Apple Music. Not that means anything to me, but it's a stat, I guess. You know what I mean? It is a stat. So fuck it. It's a stat. But I did want to get into this right here. With the release of this album, and I think prior to this album, he'd been clearly Drake streams more than the average artist. He's always in the top 5, top 10, top 3 for streaming artists. And this is just on Spotify. You know what I mean? Spotify has their trickery and whatever they do to get shit out of there. Shout out to the chat, too. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Appreciate y'all, man. Tap in. Leave your comments. Talk to me, man. We here. Drake earns the biggest streaming day for a rapper on Spotify in 2025 with 92.5 million streams as lead artist on February 14th on Valentine's Day. As it should be. You know what I mean? You release an album on Valentine's Day after what then just happened. Somebody said that's a sassy picture of him. Most of this nigga pictures are sassy. We just got to come to expect that type shit. But the music is phenomenal. He surpasses Kendrick Lamar's record of 92.3 million on February 12th. How do y'all feel about that? I want to know how y'all feel. And this is how I started the stream. Slime talking about it. Thug. Shout out to Jeffrey. That boy back #1. The Brian Still record, he kind of speaks on, and we this is just me rehashing all of that. He speaks on, take the cuffs off, we out. Shout out to Brian Still, Thug's lawyer. If you don't know, Brian Still is Young Thug's lawyer who helped him throughout this entire RICO case to get the boy free, get him back home, get him back into the presence of Mariah the Scientist. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Love. Valentine's Day just passed. Thug tweeted the boy back #1. On that same Brian Still record, he talks about a line. I don't know if I got into it earlier, but he does talk about the line, "Hey, the homie told me to squash the beef. I can't." Nothing major. Just a nice little subtle line that speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with it. I do fuck with it. Party Next Door. You know, Ack is gonna have all of the Drake Party album news on this page. Party Next Door and Drake, Some Sexy Songs for You, become the fastest album to reach #1 on US Apple Music this year. I don't know what any of that means. I'm not keeping track of how fast shit gets to #1, when it gets to #1. I cannot keep track of that type shit. But if Ack said it, then hey, fuck it. It has to be a thing. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all in the chat. I'm gonna switch gears real quick. Get into another topic. I didn't talk Drake enough. I didn't glaze enough for over an hour.